effective, and it's part of the problem that we face.
Thank you. That's very well. Thank
you. A question to the ex-Congressman Paul Findley, please. Mr. Findley, a quick glance at your book, I see the first edition was in 1985. You were a congressman for 22 years, which I assume was from 1960 onwards. Is that correct? Now, the question here is, when exactly did you start with your sort of crusade against the American aid to Israel? Was it before the 67 war or after the 67 war?
The question the gentleman has posed to me is, when was it that I began to speak out about Middle East policy? It happened quite by accident. One of my constituents was arrested in faraway South Yemen. He was accused of espionage by the government of South Yemen and arrested and put in prison. I had to go to South Yemen to plead for his release. And in the process, I heard for the first time the Israeli side of the problem. I heard from I should say the Arab side of the problem. I talked to the president of Syria. I talked with officials in Lebanon. I talked with many officials in South Yemen. And after that experience, I began to speak out. That was in 1973, March of 1973.
I have one last question. Mr. Deedat, you and Mr. Findley have now been firing up our emotions that I, and I think many others, are on the verge to go to war and defend our Muslim brothers and sisters in Palestine. Please tell us what to do.
The question is, Mr. Deedat and you have been firing up our emotions so that I, and I think many others, have been on the verge of wanting to go to war and defend our Muslim brothers and sisters in Palestine. Please tell us what to do. I am not the one to tell South Africans what to do in the Middle East. I can say what I am trying to do as an American in the United States. I am trying to persuade our Congress and our President to suspend all aid to Israel until this brutality and occupation and denial of human rights comes to an end. U.S. aid to Israel strengthens the radicals in Israel, and the sooner we put strict conditions on U.S. aid to Israel, the sooner that state will have to behave in a normal and conventional fashion in its relationship with its neighbors. If U.S. aid were suspended, Israel would by necessity have to come to terms quickly with its neighbors. I am trying to advance that cause in the United States through my books and through my lectures.
I would like to be very brief in saying a great big thank you to our visiting speakers and to Mrs. Findley. A great big thank you to Mr. Deedat, and a very great big thank you to all of you for having been so patient. I will ask my brother to read a short dua in closing. Please be seated.
Thank you. Al-Fatiha. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا مولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما وتفرقنا بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تجعل اللهم فينا شقيا ولا محروما ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين.
In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, praise be to Allah, the cherisher and sustainer of the universe. Peace and blessings upon Allah's messenger, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and on all his illustrious companions. O Allah, cause this gathering to be a gathering of mercy, and our leave-taking after this, a leave-taking of protection, and do not create in us or amongst us and in those who follow us misery, misfortune, withdrawal or repulsion. Our Lord, condemn us not if we forget or fall into error. Our Lord, place not on us a burden like that which thou placed on those before us. Our Lord, lay not on us a burden greater